Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I want to do my TBR and announcement for the Authorathon. So Authorathon is a new readathon that was created by Joanna, and she asked me to be a co-host in this. So again, thank you so much to Joanna for asking me to be a part of this. I am so excited. I've been wanting to get involved in a readathon again because I really wasn't able to read throughout the entire winter, and this was the perfect timing for it. There's a lot of readathons going on this month. There is also the Dewey's 24-hour readathon that's happening this month, so feel free to stack your readathons. There is no rules against that, but here are some of the things about the Authorathon. So first off, this readathon goes from April 18th through April 24th. So it starts your time at midnight on April 18th and ends your time at midnight on April 24th. And this is all centered around, of course, authors. So there are two different ways that you can do this readathon. One, if you have an author that you want to read, that you own a lot of their books, like maybe Brandon Sanderson, maybe J.K. Rowling, maybe Rochelle Mead, somebody who is very prolific and you want to read all of their books, or maybe even somebody that you only have a couple of their books unread, you can go ahead and decide to read that one author for this entire readathon. The other option is that Joanna and I have come up with 6 different challenges that you can try if you have a variety of different authors that you want to read on your shelf, and again, these are all centered around authors. So they are not required or mandatory or anything. We did 6 of them so that it's a little bit more achievable than 7 if somebody wants to try to complete all of them. But again, it's not necessary. You can read whichever authors that you choose to. If you want to read one author or a couple of authors or many authors or decide on going with our challenges, that is all acceptable. So if you decided to join along with us, please use the hashtag Authorathon. And we also have a Twitter account and we'll be running sprints and stuff throughout the week. So definitely join us for that. So next I'm going to be going into my TBR for this readathon. Number 1 is read a book by a favorite author. And I actually had a really hard time with this one because typically speaking, I read every book that I own by my favorite authors, and I didn't want to pick Brandon Sanderson because I've only read one book by him, and reading another one of the Mistborn books is just too long for a week-long readathon. So I decided to go with Clariel by Garth Nix. This is the prequel novel to the Abhorsen trilogy, which is one of my favorite trilogies. It's one of my favorite fantasy trilogies of all time. I read it before in high school, like before BookTube, everything like that. And this book came out shortly after I joined BookTube. This is the prequel, and I never read it. Oops. And another Old Kingdom book, which is set in the same world, is coming out, I think, later on this year, possibly next year. So I really need to get to this. I've kind of been putting it off for the right time, and Garth Nix is one of my favorite authors, so I'm excited to get to this and get back in this world because I love it so much. Challenge number 2 is read a book by an author that is new to you. So for this, I'm going to be picking The Wrath and the Dawn by Renée Actier. Renée was a debut author last year, and I've been meaning to get to this one. I want to read this before the sequel and the last book, because I think it's only a duology, comes out. So I want to get to this as soon as possible, and this is the perfect time for it. Challenge number 3 is to give an author a second chance. So if you have DNF'd a book and you want to start and try it again, or if you have disliked somebody's other books and you want to try maybe something from their new series, or try to read the sequel or something like that, this is the category for that. So for this, I'm going to be going with Everbound by Brody Ashton. This is the second book in the Everneath trilogy, and I actually read Everneath a couple months ago, and I didn't love it. I went in looking for a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I got more of an Orpheus retelling in that one, but this book might have more of a Hades and Persephone twist to it, and you guys know I have to read everything Hades and Persephone. So I'm going to be trying this one and see how I feel. Also, these books are really quick to read, so it's kind of perfect for a readathon, even if I hate it. Number 4 is read a book by a debut author. Now, since we are kind of early in the year for 2016, you can pick a debut author from 2016 or from 2015. I have 2 options for this depending on my mood. If I'm feeling more of a contemporary spin on things, I'm going to go with The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. This is a contemporary with a magical realism twist, so if I need some break from some fantasy, because I am mixing a lot of fantasy kind of in here, I'm going to go with this, even though this still kind of has fantasy elements to it, because I am fantasy trash and obsessed, and I just want to read a ton of fantasy. But if I want a break, I'm giving myself this as an option. The next option, and calm down because I know a lot of you have been begging me to read this for months, but my next option is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. So if I don't need a break from fantasy at all whatsoever and I want to stay in a full-blown fantasy world, I'm definitely going to be going with this one, and I want to read it. I've been wanting to read it, and I'm getting in the mood for it. I just want to read all this fantasy, so I think now is the perfect time for it. We will see. We will see. It's happening. Oh my god. Don't. I'm nervous. You guys have been bugging me to read this forever. I'm finally doing it. Okay, I'm sorry. Challenge number 5 is to read a book by more than one author. So this can either be an author team, because there are a number of different author teams out there that write books, or it can be by ghostwriters. So if you know that a ghostwriter team wrote this book, then go ahead and go with that one as well. I know that there's a lot of like crime novels and stuff that are written by like ghostwriters. So if you have a series that you want to pick up from one of those, perfectly fine. I'm going to go with an author team, and I'm going to pick up These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I've heard that this is Titanic in space, kind of, and like a love story. So again, if I need a little bit of a break from my fantasy, I'm gonna go with my sci-fi, because, you know, they're two sides of the same coin, but it's fine. It's fine. It's all I want to read. And the 6th challenge is to read a book from an author who's from a different continent than you are. And I'm actually going to be stacking this because I have a couple authors from different continents in this already. So Garth Nix is British, so he's from a different continent than me since I'm from the United States. And Amy Kaufman, who's part of this duo, is from Australia. So I know I'm not going to be able to read probably this many books in a week anyway, so I'm not going to add any more onto it and just kind of stack them a little bit, because I kind of want to read all of these, even though some of them are alternatives to one another, but I kind of want to read all of them. So this is what I'm picking. So it's okay if you want to stack some challenges and stuff, like, you decide what you want to do for the readathon. Just, it's focused on authors. You can kind of do whatever you want though. You can stack the challenges. You can also do this along with Dewey's 24-hour readathon, because I know that's coming up around the same weekend. So stack your readathons. It's totally fine. There are no rules. It's just fun. Lots of reading. So definitely join us for the readathon if you are around and you are available and you want to read with us, and we'll be doing reading sprints and stuff like that, so definitely go and check out the Twitter, which I'll be linking and everything, and go and check out Joanna's video because she came up with it. It's her creation, and definitely check her out and support her and everything. I'm very excited. It's readathon season, guys. I am so pumped. So comment down below and let me know if you will be participating at Authorathon. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys soon. Bye!